sorry, the human, I knew I was going to get tongue-tied, human immunodeficiency virus, misconduct in office, and other related charges. As state's attorney, my number one priority is the safety of the public, and that's why we are providing you with this update today. As this is an ongoing case in our office, I can't go into all of the details surrounding the case, but we did want to make sure that we provided important updates to the public. At this time, I will turn the mic over to our Chief Hank Stawinski.
Good afternoon. As my community knows, my first and last thought with respect to my duties is their trust. These are particularly troubling allegations, and I want to extend my gratitude to the state's attorney and her office. I also want to credit the representatives of Fairmount Heights Police Department in bringing these allegations to our attention in September of 2019. My role here today will be simple and brief, however. This is troubling, and I know it's creating concern. Please make this number available to our partners in the media and to you watching right now. That number is 301-856-2660. 301-856-2660. I'm giving you that number because this conduct creates in me concerns that we have other people who may have been impacted, whether as the victims of crime or in relationships with the individual in question. If you have those concerns, please contact that number. Our investigators are standing by. I want to thank them and the women and men who have worked diligently on this case since September. They've done tremendous work. But you can contact those investigators. They are compassionate, they are caring, they are willing to and prepared to listen. And there's two pieces to this. There's obviously the concern about crime and additional crimes that may have occurred in our community. And then there's concerns about the public health. And they are well prepared to answer questions and to provide references to you should you have any concerns along those lines. With that, I'll turn it back to our state's attorney. Thank you.
Thank you. If you have any questions, we're happy to answer those that we can. Some information we cannot provide at this time.
Does the state's attorney's office have any proof that this disease is transmitted to the victim in this particular case?
All I can speak to is what is in the indictment, and the charge is the charge is there for any attempt or actual transfer. So we have so the crime isn't necessarily a transmission. It can be an attempt as well, and so I can only speak to what's in the indictment at this time.
Have any additional people come forward with concerns about this officer or any other officers in that agency?
At this time, Chief, do you know?
We're continuing our investigation. Again, I want to credit the representatives of the Fairmount Heights Police Department for coming forward. We are continuing a broad-based investigation, and that's again why I'm encouraging our community, 301-856-2660. Any concerns that may be associated with this, please call us and let us continue that investigation.
When you look at the indictment, it says September 6th was the date of the incident. I think it was the 6th. And then there's another charge that he has, that he's facing, that says September 16th. So you have two different charges against him, right? Are these two different victims?
In this case, we have one victim.
No, I know, but that's not my question. He's previously been charged correctly, correct?
The dates are incorrect, and it was corrected in court.
Yeah, so I think that may have just been a mistake on one of the court records, but the incident occurred on September 6th.
So there's only one victim?
Currently, we know of one victim.
In court, the defense attorney made the assertion that this officer may not have been the one who may not have been the one who actually committed this crime, and mentioned the possibility of there being another officer, the partner, involved in this. Are you all investigating the possibility that this was somehow mistaken identity?
We had a thorough grand jury investigation, and the grand jury returned an indictment against Vanderpool.
Is there an investigation ongoing now of the other officer in that community?
I can only speak to what is in the current indictment against former Officer Vanderpool.
How did you learn that he was HIV positive?
Through the course of the investigation, and I don't know if the chief wants to elaborate a little bit more, but during the course of the investigation, it was determined that he was HIV positive, and that's why we pursued those additional charges in the indictment.
I don't want to be vague. I do want to credit our investigators for being very sharp in how they went about doing their work. They were able to obtain certain information, and then through follow-up and then through a grand jury subpoena, were able to get information. Because this is now an indictment and it's facing prosecution, we're going to have to leave it at that. But I do want to credit our investigators, one of whom is here with us, for being very sharp-eyed as they went about this. And I think they've done great service to our community in terms of public health, not just dealing with what was apparent, but looking beyond that.
And then the follow-up to that, so I think in your news release you said there's a concern that there may be other victims out there. Are we talking about other rape victims or possibly people who have contracted HIV from this gentleman that's outside of his official duties?
Well, I'll respond thusly, and I think that's what I endeavored to communicate in my initial remarks. Whether it is as a result of a consensual relationship or you believe you were the victim of a crime, we'd like you to reach out to that number that I provided, 301-856-2660, because there may or may not be, depending on the circumstances, the element of coercion involved in that. That's what our investigators will endeavor to get to the bottom of. And then if that doesn't exist, certainly there is reference to our partners with public health. And if people have those public health concerns, we want to be a resource to providing them reference so people can get evaluated. And then if the need arises, they can be afforded preventative medication. I do want to add, again, coming back to this question around the HIV infection, our detectives, when they became aware of that, in advance of confirming this, did take the victim in this case and refer them for medical evaluation, and that individual was provided with preventative medication. We did not wait to confirm that through the investigation, as we've discussed previously. We did that immediately, and there again, I'm adding some urgency to my communication on this part of the case. If you have those concerns, reach out to that number today, 301-856-2660. They are compassionate, they are capable, they are willing to listen, and let us help facilitate and resolve your concerns.
The first degree rape.
And can I just mention something else? If let's say in the case of a consensual act, if the person who has HIV does not disclose that information to his or her partner, there's potential to charge for that as a crime as well. So whether or not the act was consensual is not, it's relevant, but not relevant in terms of being able to charge under the theory of attempt to transmit or transmission of HIV. If they are not aware, if the partner is not aware of the status of the individual who has HIV.
The first degree rape charge was dropped during that bond hearing, and now with this indictment, it is back again. What is the state's attorney's, what is your reaction?
So we are satisfied that the grand jury heard all of the relevant evidence and returned the appropriate charges, which included first degree rape. Again, I'm only speaking to what has been indicted, and the first degree rape has been indicted, and we believe that is appropriate.
Chief, there was some question back in December about whether the traffic stop that led to all this was valid or not. What does the investigation determine? Was this woman targeted, or was it a legitimate traffic stop initially?
Well, unfortunately, and again, I don't intend to be vague with you, the method by which this individual carried out these crimes is part of the prosecution at this point. So I'm not going to reveal anything further about that. But I want to assure the public and to assure the public with respect to the public trust that this is and remains a broad-based investigation. We are looking at all facets of this series of events, and we are prepared to come forward with additional information for our community when we arrive at conclusions. This is the piece that we have an indictment on now. Well, we're very satisfied with the posture that this is in, and we'll continue our work on behalf of the public in this matter.
Is the victim in this case continuing to cooperate with the investigation?
Again, we have, all of the witnesses that we have interviewed have been very forthcoming, and that is why we were able to get an indictment for the first degree rape, along with the other important charges in this case. So that's all I'll have to say about
I
that
want to go
now.
back to the charge of passing, I think the charge says passing of an infectious disease.
Or attempt.
Or attempt, okay. So, does he have to knowingly know that he's HIV positive to be charged with that?
We believe that in this case, all of the elements were met to substantiate that charge.
And I think somebody else asked this, but I don't recall the answer. The victim, do you know, can you say whether this victim has tested positive or not?
That information will not be disclosed.
Did the officer have a history of disciplinary issues with the department at all?
I can't speak to his prior contacts or disciplinary actions within his department. He is no longer with the department.
When was he terminated? Or when was he, did he leave the department?
I don't know the exact date. That's something you'd have to talk with the department about. My understanding is that he resigned.
Chief, I think you've said this 5 times already.
Yes, sir.
Forgive me. Or don't forgive me. But you talked about a broad-based investigation with regard to this particular officer, this particular kind of activity, and an appeal to those who may have come in contact and potentially be infected. Are you investigating other activities as well from this
Yes.
department?
Yes. Yes. You're forgiven.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everybody. Most appreciated. Good. Man, don't stop. It's all good. Okay.